Yo, what is going on, you shifty shinks? That's right, you're all playing Gengar VMAX terribly wrong. The correct way to play it is with Inteleon. We don't need all the other single strike stuff. We don't need 4-4 Houndoom. You don't need the single strike Urshifu. You don't need the single strike Umbreon VMAX either. You just need Gengar VMAX. It's such an efficient attacker early on with the Fear and Panic, and then has the potential for some big damage with the G-Max Swallow Up. You don't need any other attackers, and you really don't need that much energy acceleration in the deck either to get to these attacks. That's why we only rock a 2-2 Houndoom in this list. And this list actually I took to a tournament win the other day, right after I won the tournament with the Mew VMAX deck. The next day I played the Gengar VMAX in a tournament, and I managed to take the dub there as well. And yeah, you don't need all the other single strike stuff. You just need a little bit of Houndoom. You need the Inteleon, or you want the Inteleon. Inteleon is so good, the most consistent engine in the format for a reason. There's a reason so many decks have been playing it, because it is so good. Why would you not want to play it if you could fit it? And we can fit it, because like I said, we don't need 4-4 Houndoom. We just need like a 1-1 Houndoom most games. Fill up the rest of the bench with the Sobbles, the Drizzles, and the Inteleons, and let them do their thing. Because when you combine the quick shooting and the single strike energy with that Fear and Panic, you're 2-hit KOing most VMAXs, and you combo it with that G-Max Swallow Up, you're 1-hit KOing pretty much any VMAX in the format. And of course, the options and consistency that come from the Inteleon engine is just unmatched. Like I'm saying, this is unmatched. Why would you not want to include it? And Gengar VMAX doesn't need all that energy acceleration from 3 or 4 Houndoom in play. You just need 1 Houndoom. We play a 2-2 to make sure we don't prize a piece, and sometimes we'll set up the second one. And of course, if our opponent knocks out our Houndour or a Houndoom, we might want to set up a second one in that case. So we still have that option as well. And there's not too much else to really say about the list. Like I said, I took this list to a tournament win the other day. I made a couple changes. I cut a basic energy for a hiding energy and cut the air balloon for a switch. So nothing really major as far as changes go. The one card I didn't use at all was the Cheryl. So this is the current card on the chopping block. So if you guys are trying to fit anything, I'd recommend cutting the Cheryl, but I'm not quite convinced the Cheryl is not worth playing here. Cheryl's such a powerful card. I don't want to cut it yet, because it's just such a ridiculously good card. And you know, it combos so well with Houndoom and Fear and Panic. They hit us, or we hit with Fear and Panic, they hit us. We use Cheryl, we heal, we attach, and then we get another energy and play with the single strike roar from the Houndoom, and we're attacking again. So yeah, Cheryl, such a ridiculously powerful card. It does theoretically work pretty well in here, especially when we can find it off of our shady dealings from the Drizzle or the Inteleon. I don't want to cut it quite yet, but I didn't use it in the tournament at all. So it's the current card on the chopping block, but I'm such a big fan of Cheryl. If you guys have been watching any of my videos recently, you know I'm a huge fan of Cheryl. So I want to keep it in for now. But yeah, that's the list. Let's get into some games. And if you guys want to easily import any of the lists here from any of my YouTube videos, I post all of them on PokemonCard.io. There's a link in the description, so you guys can easily copy the list over there, import it into PTCGO, and you don't have to like input one card at a time or anything like that. Makes it super simple, super easy. PokemonCard.io for all the lists that I post over here on the YouTube channel. Let's get into those games. All right, getting to our first game, we are going second. We do have double Houndour, so I think I'm going to open a Houndour as opposed to the Sobble. I usually opt to open the Sobble because I kind of value the Houndoom a little bit more than I do Sobbles, mainly because we have so many Sobbles in the deck. We only have 2 Houndours, and we really want to get a Houndoom set up. Looks like we are up against a Mew VMAX deck, so it's going to be a pretty good matchup, or generally feels like it's a favorable matchup. And we do want to get down at double Gengar, though, because Mew VMAX going first really has the potential to pop off in like any matchup and kind of take over. So we do want to research here. I was debating not researching here, maybe to hold back and hold the Gengar VMAX, but because we are up against Mew, unless they whiff the energy attachment, to be honest, if they whiff the energy attachment, but even then they could get down like the double cross switcher play, and then that would still be hard for us to keep up with. So I'm probably going to play the research here no matter what. Losing a Gengar VMAX isn't the end of the world. Ideally, we top deck a Gengar V, and then we get 2 of those down, and then we're good to kind of roll from there. But we'll see, you know, what our opponent does and what we top deck, and then kind of decide from there. But yeah, they could always get off the cross switcher play, which is kind of the scary part. Is like the cross switcher play could happen like with the energy attachment turn 1 for them to attack turn 2. They do need to play the Sparkle. But if we do have access to a basic energy here now, which I think I will also take advantage of, because they generally do be playing Fan of Waves. The Mew decks are playing Fan of Waves, so to kind of play around that a little bit, I think I'm going to go with a basic energy attachment here over attaching the single strike energy, just to play around that a little bit. And we can always get that back with the Urn as well. Throw these down, play the research. Yeah, we can recover that with the Urn as well, so it's not too big of a deal. We got another Sobble here, and then I think I'm going to quick ball away one of these boss's orders, and then get that second Gengar V like I was talking about. Kind of try and play around all of my opponents' like potential outs here, because there is quite a few of them. I don't really want to get hit by any of them. But yeah, try and play around all of the potential outs here from my opponent. Now, if they KO a Houndour, we got a second Houndour. If they KO If they KO with the Latias attack, we can just attack with the Pain Explosion. If they've got like, oh my gosh, what other play could they? If they could KO my Gengar V here, we have another Gengar V set up to go into. So yeah, playing around as many possible situations as we possibly can here off the start here from my opponent, and putting ourselves in as good of a spot as possible, I think. Doesn't get too much better than this. Losing double boss, like we're probably going to lose here, doesn't feel great. That's for sure. Losing double boss here is not going to feel great, but it's not the end of the world. And yeah, who knows what our opponent's even going to be able to pull off this turn to actually be like disruptive and slowing us down at all or not. Here comes the Sparkle. So they did find themselves the Sparkle, which is a big deal for them to even be able to attack this turn. The question will just be, what are they going to be able to attack with? They haven't used their Genesect yet, so they're going to be able to draw 2 more cards here, maybe even 3 if they can play this card out of the hand. Yeah, what attack will they be able to use here? I'm sure they'll probably want to be using the Latias to knock out my Houndour. They got to find themselves that. I'm sure they would just like to attack in general, even with just like a Psychic Leap would be better than nothing. But of course, I would be fine if they end up with nothing here. But I wouldn't even hate it if they pull off the Psychic Leap. It wouldn't be the end of the world for me here, to be honest. If they pulled off a Psychic Leap, I wouldn't hate it. It wouldn't be the end of the world. We could definitely survive. In our current hand, I believe we don't quite have a way to knock out that Mew VMAX. We have the boss, but we need a way to move the Houndour and energy and a VMAX. So we can move the Houndour, VMAX. No energy, though. So there's a lot of top decks, though, that we could top deck here. Somble's not going to cut it, though. We could just knock out the active, but it's definitely not quite as powerful of a play as we would like. Debating really what I want to do here. Let's go with Evolution Incense. Oh, we could actually make it work, but then we'd be in an awkward spot on the following turn. So I could actually go with Single Strike Roar, Scoop Up Net, Single Strike Roar. That would be a really cool play, which makes me just want to do it, to be honest. I'm just going to go ahead and do it because it is such a cool play. Single Strike Roar, get the energy, throw it on the Gengar. Play this. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Drizzile, get the Scoop Up Net, Single Strike Roar, and then we're going to be able to boss KO the Mew VMAX. It's such a cool play. I want to do it. It's definitely possible this does not land us in the best of spots on the following turn. But it is such a cool play. I'll send up this. Then do I want to bench the other Houndour? I almost want to bench the Sobble instead, and I think that's what I'm going to go with here. Throw this down. Single Strike Roar again. And we're actually going to be able to utilize my opponent's Rose Tower here to draw another card. Then boss, bring up the Mew. Rose Tower for 1. It's another Sobble. Maybe one of the worst cards we could have pulled there is another Sobble. I don't really need or want another Sobble. We get rid of their Mew VMAX. They need to get a new VMAX. They need to get another energy to make this one attack. They need quite a bit here. And we drew a research off the prize card, so we're in a really good spot now. If we didn't get the draw supporter, would have been a little sketchy. I'm not going to lie, but we get the research. And we have a single strike energy left in the deck as well. We had all 4 in there. So we'll be able to pull that out next turn. And we're actually lining up pretty well to just knock this out if it becomes a Mew VMAX. They could use... Now, the one play they could pull off here that would be pretty annoying to deal with, to be honest, would be they could pull off... there's a fan of waves, actually, but I feel like that's just helpful for me, to be honest, because now I have another single strike energy in my deck, but they have to do it here because they're trying to draw cards with that Rose Tower, and we maybe just kind of, well, not yet. They got the Genesect for 1 now after the Rose Tower for 1. Is it going to be enough to get them going here, though? I think we might have this one locked up, but the Latias plus double Power Tablet plus Vitality Band would actually be able to knock out my Gengar V. They're so far from that, and there's the concede. Yeah, super aggressive play on my turn. I was a little bit worried because if they got the knockout on that turn and we didn't really have it, because we didn't really have anything in our hand going on, but we're getting 3 prize cards with plus the top deck, so I was pretty confident we'd probably be able to pull something together. And if the Rose Tower stuck, maybe we could get a card or 2 off that, but didn't need any of it. The prize cards were going to do well, and my opponent didn't even have the response that we were kind of afraid of, so we ended up with a pretty easy dub there. Got the coin flip dub, so let's go first, and let's hopefully find a Gengar and an energy. No Gengar. Plenty of energy here, so if we can top deck a Quick Ball or a Gengar will be in business as far as that goes. But yeah, that's what we're missing here. Level Ball, not quite what we want. Man, we might be going with a Keep Calling next turn, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this hand at all. I'm going to go ahead and play Level Ball. I'm going to grab ourselves a Dower here, though. It's possible we could actually just attack with a Slumber on the next turn, which is the Gengar's first attack, which is 40 damage for 2... I could actually even grab a Dark Energy and put it here on this Sobble. I think I'm going to do that as well to just set that up. And we could go with the Keep Calling next turn as well. We have that opportunity. Or I could attach to the Houndour. Let's go like this. And then pass over to my opponent. Yeah, so a little bit of a slow start. A Zigzagoon start for my opponent. They could be playing Jolteon. They could be playing the Obstagoon deck. We see the Path to the Peak, so I'm going to go ahead and guess my opponent is playing Jolteon here, which, to be honest, I have no idea if it's a good matchup or a bad matchup or anything like that. I do know the Slumber. They don't play any Switch, so we could get some cute Slumber plays off here for sure. That's Gengar V's first attack, puts them to sleep, and then, yeah, they have to flip to see if they wake up, and if they don't, they're stuck for a turn, and if they wake up, well, that's kind of unfortunate for us, but maybe it's not the end of the world. Depends on the situation, but it was very helpful for me in my tournament the other day that I mentioned that I played the deck in. Yeah, there's the Jolteon. Okay, so set up some Gengars and kind of go from there is going to be the game plan. We had, like I said, a slow start, but we could go with a Slumber to KO the Zigzagoon here. They did net the Zigzagoon, so we don't love to see that. I mean, nothing we can really do about it, but yeah, we go with a Slumber this turn, get some damage on the Jolteon, set up for a 2-hit KO maybe. We do need to get the Houndour, and we do need to find ourselves... I mean, we need to find ourselves a little bit here. Here comes the Thunder Spear onto my Houndour. They want to make sure they can KO the, what's it called, on the following turn. The draw is not great. I almost just want to play the research because I don't really... I want to really Marnie them, and I just want to see more cards more aggressively. All these cards in the hand are so bad. I don't love losing the Scoop Up Net, I guess. I would like to keep the Scoop Up Net around, but I think I'm just going to go for it. Try and find the pieces for a Slumber. Not quite. No, wait. Hold up. No, I think we did get here. I think we did get it here. So we can go grab ourselves the Drizzile. Shady Dealings, grab ourselves an Evolution Incense, and then, yeah, we got it actually all set up here. I was like, I thought we were just a card short, but not quite. But we don't have much to follow up on out of this hand. And this is actually a matchup where I feel like the Cheryl could actually come in quite a bit, quite handy. Could come in quite handy here. We'll see if we ever utilize it, but Single Strike Roar. Our last Single Strike Energy, actually. Throw that there. I'm going to throw down a Single Strike Energy here as well. I'm going to bench a Sobble. I'm going to go Retreat. I don't feel like I really want to bench this other Gengar V quite yet, so I'm just going to hold on to that. And then, yeah, Dark Slumber, 80, or, yeah, 80. They are sleeping, but they're probably going to evolve, so they're probably not going to be sleeping for very long. But then we can go with the Pain Explosion for the knockout, or we could try and get the VMAX. And maybe if they bench another Jolteon V... Actually, we'd be a little bit off. Yeah, we'd be a little bit off from being able to use Fear and Panic as for a knockout, but we could get the knockout with the bigger attack if we want to. There's the Goon Pink. So yeah, my Houndoom will be going down, unfortunately. But yeah, we have a couple options here. The Pain Explosion, Fear and Panic. Hopefully get a top deck as well. We do need some more cards to work with. I mean, we have a lot of outs, though, because we did get down the Sobble, Drizzile's an out, Quick Ball, Level Ball, and Evolution Incense. All those cards are out. So we have a lot of outs to get out of this. But yeah, we do need to hit one of them. If not, we can just go with the Pain Explosion. And that's one of those situations where it's kind of like Pain Explosion, hope for the best, because nothing else to work with. They will probably be able to set up another Jolteon on the next turn. As we see, they get this Jolteon V. They do KO my Houndoom as well, which isn't the end of the world here because, you know, we are out of Single Strike Energy. So definitely live with it. There's a Research top deck as well. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. So attach active. I almost want to Quick Ball this away to grab. I don't really need another Gengar V right now. I'd rather just make sure I can get this Houndour and be like, okay, can you ping KO my Houndour again? And if not, I mean, maybe I don't even care, to be honest. We'll see what we draw into. Okay, we got the Evolution. I did really want the Evolution, and we did get there. But we don't have anything else really to work with. I'm going to get rid of one of these Marnies. Grab that. I want this Sobble. This is what I really want. I want this Sobble to be able to get into a Drizzile. So, yes. And we want to grab ourselves, because we have the Switch in deck, which means we could do some kind of Switch shenanigan play up here on the next turn to actually reset our Gengar's attack. Get our VMAX, because we're going to have to go with that G-Max Swallow Up. But if we want a G-Max Swallow Up next turn as well, going to have to reset the attack by going Retreat plus Switch, because we are down our Scoop Up Net, so we won't be able to use the Scoop Up Net here. And then I could play the Quick Ball, but I don't really see a need to. So yeah, G-Max Swallow Up, take the knockout here. But our opponent is also one attack away from winning the game as well. If they attack us, knock out somebody off the bench. But there's the Level Ball for the Drizzile, so all of a sudden we can get to the Switch that way. Would have loved to have the Sobble on the bench as well. I probably would have gone Quick Ball for another Sobble if it was in the deck, but unfortunately it was in the prize cards. But we're very close to be able to close out this game on the next turn. We do need a little bit of damage, and they are immediately focusing down my Houndour. Here comes a Marnie. Like I said, we need that Switch card, and we need a Single Strike Energy or a Quick Shooting, because we are a little bit short on the damage. That did not make up for it here. Double Drizzile is not going to do it. So we still need a Switch, and we still need a Quick Shooting. I don't know what we have left in our deck for Inteleons. They are going to get the knockout on my Houndour, so we lose that as an out. We do have access to the Scroll, but I think the Scroll is going to be a little bit short as well. Yeah, the scroll's not going to do it. Draw into the... Oh my gosh, the Shady Dealings in Teleon. I think that'll do it. Gotta get ourselves the switch. This is why I wanted to play the switch over the air balloon. I talked about that change in the intro. Do I have a quick shooting Inteleon though? We do have a quick shooting Inteleon. That's it. That's gonna be game. Yeah, because the air balloon was nice to move stuff around, but it doesn't let you get that G-Max swallow up reset, which we're about to get here to get for the knockout. What an insane top deck. We still would have had it actually with Drizzle for Evolution Incense. And then, yeah, we could have made it still work. But, I mean, this is perfect. This works out right here. Quick shooting the Jolteon, and then G-Max swallow up for 290 damage, equaling 300 with that quick shooting ping, and we get the dub against this Jolteon. I was one turn away from losing the game, so barely are able to pull out the dub there over the Jolteon. What a close one that one was. Another coin flip dub. So, yeah, going first, looking for that Gengar V, looking for that energy. And I got the Gengar V, no energy, so that's unfortunate. But we could just get like a level ball potentially, and that could get us the Houndour, which means we could get like turn 2 Houndoom plus attachment, and we kind of don't fall behind in attacking like we'd want to avoid. But that is not the top deck we're looking for, so we're just going to have to go with a pass. So a rough start here in this one. As far as getting stuff go, no Sobbles, no Houndours. Sorry, my seat was falling down a little bit. No Sobbles, no Houndour, so we have a little bit of a rough start in this one, but it's not the end of the world. The game's not over yet. We have a draw supporter at the very least to work with, so we're going to run with that. And we also do play a scroll. I mentioned the scroll, or you guys have seen the scroll. We play the scroll, so if they hit us with a Gale Thrust, we can actually use the scroll to get like a one-hit KO on the Urshifu VMAX potentially, which would be a huge swing, and something my opponent probably doesn't expect. So we could try and set up for that. And they actually have 4 V Pokemon in play, which means, I mean, we're just hitting pretty hard at this point with the Fear and Panic. 240 damage to be dealt out with that. I'm going to evolve to this. I don't really want to research away all this stuff, so we're just going to go ahead and go with the Marnie here. And yeah, go with Marnie. Hopefully we just get an energy. We at least want an energy here. With the energy, we did get the Houndour, so it does open up the opportunity once again to go into the Houndoom and then go from there. But it won't get no Sobble either, so not a ton of options here. Off this Marnie, just kind of bench the Houndour and pass. So yeah, very limited draw there from the Marnie. But we're not out of it yet. We're still in this game for sure. And I'm not loving it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not loving our situation. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not loving the situation we're in, but definitely possible to still make a comeback in this one, even if we are quite a bit behind at this point. Definitely a possibility to make a comeback. Here comes the Marnie from my opponent. We like to see that. The Evolution Instance for the Houndoom would have been nice, but I think we need a little bit more than that, so I don't really mind seeing a fresh hand. Hopefully we can find... well, okay, but this fresh hand is not... this fresh hand is not it. Gonna need a top deck now at this point to get anything going. And yeah, we're in big trouble at this point in this one, I feel like. Definitely need something to help us out. And they have their... I was thinking maybe we could like boss stall something, but they do have the Tower of Darkness in place, so we can't even trap anything in the active. There's a Kricketune. I guess we could trap the Kricketune. That's something we could trap in the active. If they bench it, they have to bench it though. They're not going to bench it. There's the hit, 300 damage. A miracle off this top deck. That is a start of a miracle, maybe. Bench the Sobble, bench the Gengar V. If we can find a single strike energy and the scroll, we'll be in business here. We do not find either of those though, and we are once again in trouble. Big trouble. Man, where do we even go from here? All right, we can grab ourselves the Houndoom, start to load up this Gengar on the bench. I think has to be the play we go with here. Bench this Sobble. I'm even going to level ball for another Sobble, I feel like, just so I can't get my Sobbles completely focused down. Or I kind of want to avoid that, I guess. Grab another Sobble. I could have grabbed a Houndour as well, I guess. That would have been a not terrible thing to have grabbed. A bunch of Sobble. Pass over to my opponent. Hope they don't have Boss plus G-Max Rapid Flow, because they get Boss KO both Gengars here. And that would be pretty rough. I don't know if we'd be able to make a comeback from that, to be honest. That would be a little bit tough to deal with. But hopefully they don't have that play. Yeah, hopefully they don't have the boss. It's a Marnie. My hand was okay, but I don't mind the Marnie, to be honest. Let us see some new cards here, and hopefully something a little bit better than what we had just been seeing. Looks like not too much better. But we'll see what my opponent even does here. We're still set up to be in a position to win this game, though, to be honest. We're not out of this yet by any means. By any means. Here comes the Moltres. Celebration energy. There. It depends what they knock out. They can knock out my active and put some damage on my Gengar, which might be too much to try and make a comeback from. That would be pretty tough to deal with, to be honest. But maybe they just focus my No, I mean, I don't see a reason for them not to go hit my active, hit my Gengar, to be honest. If I was them, I would do that play, I think. So they're probably going to do that play as well. I don't see a reason for them to do anything else, but we'll see what they do. Here comes the G-Max Rapid Flow. What are they going to target? Are they just going to leave my Gengar VMAX trapped in the active? Do they think they have it trapped here? That could also be a thought my opponent has here. I'll just have this G-Max or this Gengar VMAX in the active trapped, and that's what they go for. Chasing my Sobbles on the bench. Okay. We could go for the Outrage play or the Scroll play. That could be what we play for here. Scroll Knockout. Like the idea of it. Let's get rid of the Houndoom. We're not going to need that anymore. I mean, none of these cards are great anymore. I guess I could grab this to discard to thin it out. Actually, it'd be better to thin out the Houndour. Taking a look through the deck real fast. There's 2 Single Strike Energy there and the Scroll of Scorn. I got plenty of Drizzile, so I don't need to use this Drizzile now. And I probably won't, to be honest. Then we could just see what we do. I could attach active and just hit. That'd be a play. But then I lose to just an E-Switch. If they got the E-Switch, we would end up losing in that situation. So I don't really want to lose the E-Switch. I want to try and beat the E-Switch. I'm going to go with the research here. Let's see if we can draw into the Single Strike Energy plus the Scroll. No Single Strike Energy. No energy actually at all. Sheesh. Well, that has put us in quite a pickle then. I could have attached the energy to the active, but I wanted to try and dig for the one-hit KO this turn. We do end up whiffing it, and then do our chances of winning this game also go with that? I think they might here. What a rough draw here at the end. Because I could have just put the energy here, got the Scroll. We could have hit for 310 damage and then quick shooting KO this later. But then, like I said, we do lose to an E-Switch. So I want to try and get the KO this turn so we don't lose to E-Switch anymore. And then maybe can just like kind of take over the game from there. No longer an option. So we're in a pretty rough spot still. Well, hold on. Actually, I see something here, I think. So we can get our VMAX. And our Switch is prized. Oh, no. Of all things to prize when we need it. We could have switched this Gengar VMAX to the bench Gengar and then gone from there. Now we can't even do that. I can't even do that. So once again, stuck. Stuck once again. Go with this Drizzile. I don't even know what I want to grab here, to be honest. Probably a boss. Go with the boss. Yeah, but we are in... we're in a bad spot once again. I'm going to Single Strike Roar. I'm going to go and grab this energy. I'm going to load up this benched Gengar VMAX once again. But if we had the Switch here, could have gone Switch, knock out this Urshifu because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 V Pokemon in play. So we would have been able to one-hit KO this because we had the VMAX, we had the energy, just needed the Switch. We didn't even have to go with the what's it called play, but the Switch is prized. So not going to be able to make that work. Pass over to my opponent. And, I mean, we'll see what they got. Is it as simple as it game over? Does my opponent have it? Do they have E-Switch and the Octillery? So that is going to do it. Yeah, unfortunate draw there. Wasn't able to quite piece anything together. Man, actually, the Switch play, knockout, and then boss, knock out the Sylveon VMAX on the next turn, I think. Or even the Blaziken, maybe. We would have had some options, for sure. But it falls apart in this one, super close. And not going to quite cut it, not going to cut it. But that's the way you want to be playing Gengar VMAX, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.